Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today's the first quarter of November. And let's just be honest. As I mentioned before in my last video, I'm trying to let you guys know what my plans are. I'm starting from a place of let's unlearn and relearn. Let's try that. Because going in the motion of thinking that you have enough to get you to the next level will always be good, but to get beyond that is a whole nother story. But let's just dive into where I am with NSU, right? Currently on the first month, I want to be able to look at what I need as a business owner and what would be beneficial to other business owners that are trying to get started, right? But for us that are not necessarily stagnant, but we have situations that are holding us back, we need more knowledge, we need more resolutions, more resources to be able to take us forth. And I'm getting that, right? So just to brief you really quick, there is a lot going on with the last project. Inglewood Gateway did not turn out well as I planned, as I worked for, as the individuals that I was working on that project had worked so hard for. It came down to a termination of failure to pay wages, and that is full circle of legal situations that have taken place. We're stretched out almost 6 months since we've been on that project, and nobody has gotten paid from my tier down. Basically, which means is I haven't seen any money, my staff hasn't seen any money, my employees haven't seen any money on that job. So in a situation like this, what do, right? If you're ever in a position where you're able to get contracted for a project that is outside of your financial capability, I want to let you know that there are resources and avenues that you will go down. I am currently sitting under so many different claims, pre-litigations, notices, and communications. And it's left me in a position like, well, what do I do? How do you just continue to keep from buckling? Because of course, as a business owner, it is your responsibility to hold financial reserves, just as much as it is a responsibility of option to the mature contractor to hire on a sub-tier, knowing what their financial status is before contracting them. My point is that throughout being able to deal with these claims, it's put me in a position to make sure that I'm diving deeper into what California's law states for contractors. You want to be able to do that research on your own because, like I said, this is real time what I'm dealing with. I have several different situations that allow me to not only see how these claims can be stacked against you, but also how important it is for you to go as a contractor into an employer and all of the things that are going to be necessary for you to succeed in that field and make sure that your business is operating compliantly. You can take on your cousins, your nephews, and your neighbors, which could be the closest people to you in this situation. But if you are not knowledgeable of certain documentation, certain reports, certain things that are going to need to be produced, that can hurt you, that can hurt you, that can prevent you from getting paid, that can also do so many things to you and your reputation. So I suggest that if you're ever in that situation, that you dive deep like I am right now. I am discussing different matters with different counsel right now as far as my certification being dealt with on the project, and also how I can make sure that I get paid, period. Because if you want to keep it cutthroat and dry, I was on a project, you guys already know, I've been excited about it. I haven't given you as much energy as I wanted to because it just wasn't there. I've always been in go mode. I've been in grind mode to better myself, better my company at all times, and I'll stay in that mode. That's never going to change. But as I've been slowed down to realize where it was that I was not actually crossing T's and dotting I's, and that was just to make sure that when it comes to terms, pay terms, and things being done when they said they're going to be done, someone can easily be pulling you along and you don't know it. And when you have a team behind you that's loyal, and when you have a thrive and a grind like I do, you want to make sure that you're also not wasting your time just to hit a dead end. And I believe that these past couple of months has brought me to a place where it's been a dead end, because if you don't pay attention to those sections in your contract, if you don't read your contracts well, if you don't have someone on your team to help you read those contracts well, then you need to get one now. There's going to be situations, or should I say, there's going to be companies that are going to help you stay in place to get paid and to do all of those things. If you have the credit, you can go and find payroll services that will actually front your payroll. If you have a great credit score or rapport, then you can go and get a payroll loan. These are all different options for different people. And when you get to situations like I've gotten to, where it's been one situation after another, then another situation after another, and then another, and after another, and after another, and after another, and after another. Okay? And when those situations occur, we've kind of gotten used to the snowball effect, right? I've turned myself into a tractor to kind of move these things forward, because, like I said, when you have 9 litigations against you, and people want to say, well, you haven't paid me, so now, a $2,000 check turns into a $20,000 check, or can you go and grab these supplies and take them downstairs so that I can load them into my car, turns into a working overtime off the clock. And when you have we're not carpooling, you're gonna have to drive your car, turns into a 2-mile drive to a $300 mile drive, turns into very many situations that can become very pricey. So at the end of the day, it's not who you hire, it's how you hire at the end of the day, and also how you get paid. And it's very important, because like I said, as someone that's so young in the game but very experienced on communication with people, but not contract wise, then that's when I get to mature my game. And my pen, y'all know I keep a pen with me. If you don't know, even this pen got my information on it. But I keep a pen with me, and everything needs to be documented. You know what I'm saying? No one is to be trusted without paperwork, because it's a mutual relationship that goes on to that paperwork. And again, if you're ever in a position where you feel like you're not getting the money that you're expected up front, if you're not getting your payments in on time, I suggest, especially for myself, is that you put a stop payment, a stop performance on the job. You put a stop performance on the job, and that you make sure that anytime you feel uncomfortable, that you stop progress altogether. I told myself that any way that I can learn from this opportunity, and this was way before I saw any problems, I wanted to make sure that I did that. And a lot of things came to me where it was like, when it comes to schedules and things like that, I'm not going to continue to sculpt and mold myself or my company or my employees around other schedules. And when it comes down to being nice to people, being nice has nothing to do with doing business, because being nice and being understanding is exactly where it'll get you to a place where you never break profit, you never have the balls to price for profit, and also you never have the team that's going to respect you, because if you don't have the money that they are working for, it's just a snowball effect. And you need a big ass tractor for some of this stuff that's going to fall on your head if you don't take care of it head on. So again, another one of my topics that I'm trying to highlight out of this conversation is that if you do not have money up front to pay your people, and you are putting them on pay terms to get paid, I suggest that you put that in thorough language. I mean, thorough language into a contract agreement that you write with each and every one of your subcontractors or your independent contractors. It doesn't matter if they're licensed, insured, bonded, if they accepted Christ as their Lord and Jesus Savior. It does not matter. And you have to make sure that everything is written down from even if they're using their cell phones to discuss business matters with you. Okay, if you're doing clock in, clock out hours, if they're traveling to their jobs and that you're not carpooling, I don't care if this is your twin. You need to put that down in paperwork and make sure that you have that documented, because at the end of the day, when things go sour, or when you need to, it's not even about sour. If things just stay sweet, the best way to stay sweet is to stay documented. So the best way to go about that, you want to know if somebody said something, did something, had something, what happened on that daytime, where, what was the location, what happened? Become your own journalist. And as a contractor, that's one of the best things that we can do, is document every single thing we can. Okay, recordings, record everything. Okay, so, and like I said, again, kind of doubling back to what my point is today, is that I'm in a situation where now I get to fight for the fact that I have not been paid on a job. I have not been paid on a job, not one red cent, not a 0.1 cent, not a spread, not a stock, not a nothing, right? And I have these people who have entrusted their work with me, as they've done on several projects, right? And when it comes to these projects, your reputation and consistency in payments is what holds the glue together, right? So I've lost 10 people because of a contractor who did not pay me on time, who decided not to pay me at all because I did not pay my people first, and also used, I'm sure, my DBE credits and put me onto their job, and received very hard work from several of us. It had to be about 24 of us on that site, working day in and day out according to their schedule, and just doing our job, doing the best that we can. And like I said, now I'm in a position where I get to realize that it's not all on me anymore, that there are laws that have been set in place for business owners, for contractors like myself, that say, yeah, you were supposed to have the money, you were supposed to have your finances in order to be able to pay weekly or bi-weekly, but you did have employees that were willing to do it on a 30-day net, and you were in agreement with the contractor that was going to pay you on a 30-day net, and you did not get paid. So, at the end of the day, like I said, look into it. I'll post a link on here. If you've ever been in that situation before, or want to know more about my situation and how I'm going through it, how I'm getting through it, and how I continue to move forward and progress, because my business is still very healthy and moving forward. Although I'm not jumping out there to say, oh, all of this is just gone and away. No, but I am grateful to know that I'm still flourishing and doing very good business with people on way better terms. And that's the best part about situations like this, because when you have to learn the law, when you're backed into a corner and you don't know what to do, for some reason, something just kind of happens in the waves of the universe, that things start to appear themselves and it starts to make sense for you, for your business, for your family, for your peace, for your sanity. So therefore you can sleep at night and you can realize that it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not a bad person. You can go to sleep at night. You can walk out to your car without feeling like you're going to get hurt or robbed. I mean, I don't know what some people are thinking or what they're going through, but I know it can be the worst. I know it can be painful to not know that if something went wrong and you had people depending on you and something just didn't go right. So again, if you have anything to do with credits, or like if your certifications, how everybody's MBE, DBE, ABC. Okay, so if your certifications were used on that job, that's another reason why Metro is supposed to make sure that you get paid. Because if your credits and your certification was used, it doesn't matter if you didn't pay your employees. It doesn't matter if they did a bad job. It does not matter if you fell back on the schedule. Whatever happens, if you're on that job, there's so much more, so much that's owed to you regardless, because that was your job given. And of course, there's different details within your contract that will make all of the difference, but there will be a part 2 to this. But for the most part, this is the first quarter of November, and I just wanted to be able to bring this to your attention to let you know that first and foremost, keep your business moving forward, but don't run from your situations, and make sure that you know that there's resources out here for you, because there's resources out here for me. And regardless, when you spin back full fold, you have to continue moving forward. So while we're putting this in one section of the room, let's go ahead and start working on the next section. I'm going to get paid on that job. I'm going to see my money on that job, and so will the people that worked on that job. Now, moving forward on to other things. We talked about in the third quarter of October, we talked about the checklist that you need. We talked about the EIN structure that you need to get set up. We talked about the business account. We talked about, I think that was it. Checklist, setup checklist, EIN, certification, registration, checklist, supply list, and advertisement. I think we probably went over advertisement too. So by the second quarter of November, I hope to start seeing some engagement from you guys. Go follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, NSU Cleaning Group. NSU Cleaning Group. Go follow me there. Anybody that's into contracting, anybody that's into cleaning, come vibe with me. Let's have a discussion. Let's make sure that we're sharpening each other's iron. Okay. Any other steps? Like, what were your first steps, right? Because some of my first steps were to make sure that I got publicated. I was in the newspaper for registration. Some places probably won't even let you do it. In Los Angeles, I know for a fact you can't even get your registration done unless you put yourself in the newspaper. I think that that's a great way to continue going about it. I've never been called from a newspaper ad, but at the same time, I think just to go out there, find different ways to put yourself out there, especially for small cost, is possible. I mean, you can go in to the library, well, not the library, but you can find a good friend that works somewhere, maybe at like a resource center or workforce center, something like that. Have them pitch you up 50 flyers. Just make sure that they're cut up, you know what I'm saying? They're duplicated on that paper, cut it up. You got 6 flyers, you know what I'm saying? And go post those, go pass them out. Have your 30-second pitch together. We'll do one of those too. Been meaning to do one of those. So make sure we get a 30-second pitch together so you're able to break open the ice. Don't feel like your 30-second pitch is all that there is. I felt like that too. I would spit my pitch and that was it. I would start talking about family stuff and general stuff, and you got to stay focused. Okay, it's all about business. It's about the exchange. Everything circles back around to the fact that I'm in your face because I want you to hire me. I'm in your face because I want your money. I'm in your face because I'm a professional. So at the end of the day, it's great to be friendly and things like that, but don't waste your time. If you're out there and you're trying to get leads, pass out your flyer. Let them know what else you do. Let them know how you could be of help. This is what you can offer. And move on to the next one. Of course, make a great connection, but when you're in grind mode, stay in grind mode. You need to hit 10 people a day. You need to hit 100 people a day. Make sure that you're doing that. Okay, especially on times when you're just getting started, or even if you've already been started and you've just been going, you have to keep going, because no matter what, those are the things that kind of fuel you, especially when you get down. I've been in the worst times, the worst times of my life and my career. And you know what? When I picked myself up, the first things that I've done was going to go put on a suit and get in these streets and passing out my business card. Why? Because that was what changed my life in the first place. So it was like, that's what I go back to. I have to go back to that. I have to get back to streaming to you guys to say, this is a part of my message. This is a part of my life. This is a part of my goal. This is my mission, is to be able to share my experience with you, share you my journey, and show you my success, as well as my steps to success, because we all got them. You know, and just like following somebody on a workout channel, you want to see what they're doing, and it may not work for you all the way to where you're going, but it's going to get you started. And I just want to get you started. I just want to be one of those places that you can come back to say, hey, I like Dree from NSU. Dree Pittman reminded me, drop some gems, you know, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. That's it. So please like, subscribe, share. Know that I have a blog that I put on Subconscious Subcontracting, Instagram, subconscious_subcontracting. Same thing that I'm always talking about, putting out videos, just being me, you know. So please be you. Check in with me right here on NSU Cleaning on YouTube, Subconscious_subcontracting on Instagram, and like I said, on Facebook, you can find me at NSU Cleaning Group. I'm all over the place, right? But that's me. It wouldn't be me if it wasn't me, so it's me. So know that. That's Dree. All right? I love you guys, and remember, I'll be posting this up. I'll be putting the links in, so no matter where you are, I appreciate you for coming into the room, tapping in with me. Oh, haircut and face by Rio at Rio's Man Cave in Las Vegas. The boy brought me back. My skin feels great. If you're in town anywhere, this is a 3-day-old cut, by the way. You're in Vegas. Check out Rio. He's a great guy. He's from Vegas. Open dude, been doing hair for a very long time. Young guy, got a lot of life in him, and he's just an awesome person to be around. So I gotta shout him out because he's the sponsor of this video for the looks. You know what I'm saying? Got your boy looking right. You know. So if you come out to Vegas, go down and send Rio from Rio's Man Cave a visit. Tell him Dree Pittman sent you, and go ahead and bless your boy and let him bless you and bring you back to life. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go. And like I said, remember, it's the first quarter of November. First quarter, the 1st. Second quarter, the 10th. Third quarter, the 20th of every month. We're going to be doing this. We're going to tap back in right here for a nice little discussion on what's going on with me and what it is that you could be doing, and chat with me. Tell me what's going on. What can we talk about next? Where can we go next? You never know where this thing is going to develop to. So as a community, let's keep on commuting. All right. Stay blessed, stay focused, and remember, you got this. All right? Over and out.